Aloha, Netenanum. Good evening. Welcome to day 20 of the 25 days of Force Majeure Christmas. Let me do the tech check. Do some tech check. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Yep, everything is pretty good, going good. Okay, awesome. So let's start with a communion oneness prayer. You are welcome to say the prayer of your tradition. I'm very all-inclusive. For me personally, I prefer silence. Thank you so much for being here. Today is day 20 of the 25 days Force Majeure Christmas. And what is really going on here? So, force majeure, treaties are contracts, broken treaties are broken contracts. Occupation is war. Thus, in Maritime Admiralty Law, laws of war apply to all nations associated with the UN. Force majeure is a legal claim making all contracts null and void in natural disasters or acts of God and war or occupation. So, global peace treaty is actual and factual humanitarian law with applicable remedy for full stop. Now, who am I? I consider myself call myself a secular Hindu quantum catalyst fusionist, because essentially that's that space that I'm holding of all inclusivity, advocating for female form is the walking temple of life, more sacred and holy than all temples, churches, holy places, and human achievement combined. The last guardians of the future, keeping everything current, including DNA, entrusted by Cosmos Paramashiva God. I'm advocating mothers to initiate third eye and Kundalini through umbilical cord initiation, which is the most powerful initiation. And Kalabherba himself has said as such. So for me, no one will ever grant me my birthright. Women are the source of posterity, thus the right to have one's own country and currency. Not the UN, not anyone or group. Time is life. And because time is life and we all are here because Paramashiva God blessed us with the life today, 1 hour for 1 hour exchange should be, because we're all here doing our part to make everything happen. So I'm also advocating all mothers are global leaders, and only Cosmos Paramashiva God granted blessed me life, and advocating for a moksha peace treaty, meaning self-governed sovereignty. And the last fiber since the deforestation, reforesting it with food is ideal. And the seer seeing seen are all one and the same. I advocate that people do not just their own physical genealogy, but their spiritual genealogy itself, because the colonizers have, well, in that process you will regain what was stolen and hidden from you, and that knowing and that stability is worth the looking in what is in your DNA. And it's the most beautiful adventure and delicious, right? Most deliciously beautiful adventure in celebrating your own life, knowing who you are precisely. So in the global neighborhood called humanity, there's a lot of one dharma on the globe in the neighborhood, having superiority complexes, which actually leads to war. And starting with that one dharma or one house, spiritual house, is just going to it just keeps leading to war, perpetuating war. So we should start at Advaita, or the oneness, peaceful coexistence, honoring and respect every tradition. Before I move forward, I would like to take the time to share about the Congolese man who set himself on fire in protesting genocide. If you use any tech, and I'm gonna say since the beginning of it all, because it's those tech companies that are enslaving the Congolese people to mine, and they have kids as young as 4. So I would like to share a video, and none of the main media is covering this.
A Congolese man set himself on fire to bring attention to the ongoing genocide and exploitation that is happening to his people in the DRC. The video is circulating all over Twitter, and now it has made its way to TikTok right now. And people are outraged. And I actually searched up the whole situation to see if there's articles on it. And no BBC or CNN or Washington Post, none of these big publications covered it, because they want to hide what they are doing in the DRC. So the man literally set himself on fire. Like, I don't even know how he can have that kind of courage, but just to like bring attention to what's happening to the people of Congo. Like, they've been exploited. Millions of people, children at the age of 4, are mining cobalt and coltan and all kinds of stuff for the tech companies and all kinds of stuff. Okay. And I don't know if you have seen the video, but it's pretty heavy. And because we need to bring attention to this issue, guys. Nobody's talking about what's happening in Africa and how these people are suffering from the same colonial power. Israel, America, Britain, France, all these people are taking advantage of these innocent people and their lives. The conflict in the DRC is fueled by the competition for the rich natural resources of the region, such as gold, coltan, and cobalt, which are used in various industries and technologies. Literally, every big company, every tech company, the government, everyone is taking advantage of the Congolese people and their natural resource, which belongs to them, and they're not even profiting from it. They're being forced to mine it. First of all, do all the hard work, risk their lives, and then these people steal it from them and come and make billions of dollars worth of profit off of these people's lives. So please share this video. Make it go wild, even outside of TikTok. If you see other people talking about this, nobody is covering this. There's no news articles covering this. Like, they don't care, because they're gonna lose profits if the world wakes up to support the Congolese people and also the Sudanese people and all the other exploitation and genocides in Africa. So please share this video outside of TikTok. Let's talk about this. The Congolese people desperately need us.
So, because of the desperate situation, a Congolese man decided to set himself on fire to bring attention to the situation that is there. We're talking about just like our fellow mothers who are cows and pigs and chickens, goats, that are being raped and whatnot, who's to say that these Congolese women are not being forced to have children to keep providing labor force? And if they are not hesitant to use 4-year-olds, to where are these babies coming from, right? It's a very serious situation there in Congo. And I would like to take a moment and to say a prayer and silence for the ultimate sacrifice this man did to bring attention to what the entire world is indebted to, debt of gratitude for having the blessings of these gadgets that we have. But there must be a way to do this properly. So let's take a moment and prayer silence. Thank you. So as we are slowly but surely climbing to the peak of the holiday season, what are we consciously perpetuating? And I'm advocating to normalizing handmade gifts, digital gifts, regifting, secondhand gifts, consumable gifts, experience gifts, and small business gifts. And of course, shopping at your preferably go and find where the farmers are and buy directly from farmers at farmers markets. There's many farmers markets here in Hawaii that provide food that come off the barge. So in the process of sorting that out to find where there are farmers markets that are grown locally sourced. So in Fern Acres, they have a food pantry coming up on the 21st, which is tomorrow, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., sponsored by the Food Basket. It's at 11-3602 Lehua Street, Mountain View, Hawaii. So for those who are needing blessings to make a family time special, please go to the Fern Acres Food Pantry. They are doing that food drive there. Here in Hilo, the Liliuokalani Gardens are having what's called Garden Enchantment on December 23rd and 24th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's this weekend, to enjoy the lights and the beautiful setup that they put together. The shelter dogs, they are urgently needing volunteers for pet play and walk in the volcano area. They do training on Sundays at 2 p.m. If you would like more information and want to help, action with the number 4 animalshawaii.com, a4ahawaii@gmail.com. If you would like to contribute into the community that way. The Pane'ewa Zoo on December 22nd is having a little free library debut for gently used books. So if you would like to bring your books for that, that's what this event is for. It starts at 11 a.m. They are also having a donate $22 to buy a carton of new books to give to Keiki for their monthly story time. So you can learn more about that at everydayheroproject.org/little free libraries. In Pune on Saturday, December 23rd, they're having a toy exchange. So they do, if you would like to donate, there's a drop-off at the Pahoa Smoothie Shack. So there is this toy exchange going on at Connection Point Church on the 23rd, Saturday, from 9 to 12. And before I get to that, I wanted to share a very interesting story that I came across that is worth sharing, which even for me, I'm like, this is possibly a possible something to do as well.
The craziest thing about the lottery is the fact that your odds of winning are only 1 out of 300 million, but the government wins every single time. Let me tell you the truth about the lottery. I truly feel like this is an idea that needs to be shared with the world, so please watch until the end. One day I had the question, who created the lottery and why? The first ever recorded lottery can be traced back to the Han's dynasty to finance major government projects, like, for example, the Great Wall of China. And the next recorded lotteries trace back to the Roman Empire, where funds went to city repairs. Shortly after, England organizes their own, but here's where things get interesting. England holds this lottery open for 3 years, which essentially makes the money received during this period an interest-free loan for the government. They could use the money as soon as they got it. They just had to make sure they made it back before they announced a winner. This then spirals into various American colonies being funded by lotteries, as well as almost all of the Ivy League schools. Princeton, Harvard, Columbia, all of them. Okay, so don't you see what's happening? The lottery is just a way for governments to raise money with no questions asked. Lottery proves that Americans can effectively put their money into a single pot, and as long as one person wins, everyone else is motivated to play. So why not organize our own lottery and deliberately put that money towards something that we want? In 2021, Americans spent $105 billion on lotteries. Do you know what we could do with that money? We could power every household with solar energy. We could literally buy OpenAI. We can buy Twitter back from Elon Musk and make it a public good. Am I crazy, or is this actually an idea worth spreading?
I definitely agree that it is an idea worth spreading, and so I decided to share that with you, and whoever has the capacity to be able to do so, will do it for humanity. Talk about exciting times with digital tech capacities and capabilities. So day 20 of the 25 days of force majeure Christmas, what is really going on here? This is just a warning. If you travel beyond this point, you will be responsible for costs of search and rescue. It's a personal responsibility code. For me personally, I call upon Mahaparama Shiva and Kala Berba. So in Hawaii Kingdom, the congratulations to Colonel Lilikoi and Kai Malia for their wedding on Monday, January 18th. As per Colonel Lilikoi's post, Operation Wedding Dress, Marriage and Occupation, a Civil Affairs Military Government JAG operation. Hawaiians have post-millennium rights tied to their ancestors that afford lawful marriage during the lawful U.S. Navy occupation of the Hawaiian Islands. Colonel Sam K. Lilikoi, Commander, OFH Army Navy, CAMG JAG, Hawaiian Islands. Congratulations to the beautiful couple. Tatastu, tatastu, tatastu. Most auspicious blessings for you and your beautiful family. So who is Colonel Lilikoi? Colonel Lilikoi got a declaration state of war signed with the JAG Lieutenant Beaumont, U.S. Navy officer. And essentially, it's not declaring war, it's just pretty much, we still fighting, yeah, we still fighting, kind of legitimacy to the situation ship or legal Bermuda Triangle called Hawaii. In his case, I believe he calls it Operation Gypsy Dancer. I believe so. Like my memory's a little bit fogged on that one. But in that court case, the prosecuting attorney submitted the UN official letter memorandum in the court hearing, the official statement saying that Hawaii is in some strange form of occupation. Now, for me, it becomes very questionable why wasn't it stated very directly and clearly that occupation is war, and by the way, here's the laws of war. That did not happen. So for me, I question a lot of things. In pure seeking, and I don't take sides, just asking questions. As well as the force majeure. Force majeure is a provision in a contract that frees both parties from obligation if an extraordinary event directly prevents one or both majeure event. This is because economic hardships occur regularly in business and as a result may be appropriately and preemptively dealt with by allocating its risk through the terms of the contracts. As such, force majeure events are often labeled as acts of God and include both natural and man-made events like fire, flood, storms, war, and labor disputes. So, war is occupation. Occupation is war. And because of the UN didn't say, and somehow it's basically the Colonel Lilikoy bringing to the attention that, hey, the laws of war apply here, and going into those things, Hawaii Kingdom, the reason why the misunderstanding is as peaceful as it is because the Queen recognized that it was a misunderstanding. It was not an attack by the U.S., but a misunderstanding, and thus she put the kingdom, Hawaii Kingdom, into martial law with Article 37. But in the laws of war, I find it very strange and odd. Why is it that the laws of war to make this happen if you live here? Somehow. Right? And anybody can file force majeure for any contract, because all contracts null and void. Right? All contracts. All contracts. Meaning birth certificates, real estate, TMK, business, any court issues, tickets, credit cards, bank loans, W-2, 1099, everything. Everything is force majeure in Hawaii. But you must follow that, and that comes with full responsibility for whatever it is that you are calling on force majeure for. whether you're naughty or nice. It works for all across the board. So for those who are naughty, it's not a get out of jail free card. You will be having to choose which country you're going to be on, and thus and Hawaii Kingdom has its own penal code for everything as well. So with full personal responsibility, anybody can use the force majeure. It's pretty much just force majeure all the way. In pro se, meaning representing yourself. So, gotta decolonize our minds. Decolonizing our minds because of how the corporations have postured themselves for a very long time. And in my search looking at it, it goes all the same structures and such has been going on since the Roman Empire, and mirror the Roman Empire. And possibly I'm still looking into it, is the Roman Empire still in existence, right? Because families, just like you are here because of your ancestors, everybody's here. We're still here in that perpetuating. What are we perpetuating, right? And so the governments postured themselves to disempower families to pretty much take babies, right? For their own uses. And so even with the US being here, or just the whole way that they operate, when you look at the treaties that they came across, right, going westward. So Hawaii Kingdom technically is literally the fringe edge of the wild, wild west, and the pilgrims moving west, right? And so they are running away from their narcissistic abusers, and the Boston Tea Party is still in full swing. So how do you know? Because BAR, British Accredited Regency, they have a lot of people aspiring for their hierarchical class by going into debt slavery to pledge allegiance to the BAR, which is British Accredited Regency, meaning because of all inclusivity of spirituality and not just the one dharma consciousness monocropping spiritual terrorism that has its repercussions and the source of all of this narcissistic abuse that is being identified and shared. So with that being said, I want to share a video that I came across by Dr. Shiva, who is running for president in 2024 as an independent. I don't vote because I view it as passive-aggressive behavior patterns by collective imposing on the minorities in whatever. And for me, I'm like for any kind of if there is going to be governmental services, how the American Constitution initially was, where the what is that? The government had to issue bonds, which are pretty much like GoFundMes. And so how the British side altered their version because it still exists, right? Because whether you're a US citizen or an American citizen, you have blood title on your hands, and the final legitimacy of freedom, or would you give it back to the Native Americans? If the answer is no, then you got to really look at your own selves as to what is really going on here, because from my perspective, will the British US and constitutional USA work together to ensure that the right things are not done? That's where, if you watched my video yesterday going into the actual factuality of white privilege, is due to the genocide and broken treaties. So they use treaties as bait and switch. That's the mental setup. That's the toxic mental setup. But it goes even further than that, and Dr. Shiva has done a very beautiful video that I want to share, explaining things even more so on the constructs. So,
good evening, everyone. It's Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. How? A very small.
wait.
Good evening, everyone. It's Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. How? A very small set of people control 8 billion people. This is what I call the elite. Let's say there's about 10,000 of them. How is it these people are able to manipulate the 8 billion people here? If you talk to a lot of naive people, they think, oh, it's the Rothschilds over here, or it's the aliens. They don't understand. It's not any one individual. It's not any one organization. There's something called swarm intelligence. If you watch all those birds flying together, not any one of them is in control. They move together as a unit. They're closely knit. They're quote unquote telepathic, but they move with a singular goal. Help us. This is what they want. If you do not want to unite among people here and find who your own leaders are from below, they are quite happy. They're achieving their goal. Power, profit, and control. Now, how do they do this? You're going to realize it's not any one group. It's an interconnected, tightly knit group. They're all closely interconnected. In fact, they all go to the same restaurants. They have all their kids going to the same equestrian shows. They all shop at the same place. They all go to the same parties. You're not part of that. So who are these people? And what are the institutions of power that they have? Well, first of all, they have academia. Harvard, Oxford, Yale, MIT, IIT in India, the top 100 university presidents. These people are on boards of companies, but it's about 100 people who run the major universities in the world. NGOs, or nonprofits. These are people who run these huge nonprofit organizations like the Clinton Global Initiative, WEF, World Economic Forum, Center for Foreign Relations. And there's many other people are focused on power. But then you also have a whole nother people, the CEOs of the global 2,000 companies, other big organizations like big pharma companies, Pfizer, big agriculture companies like Syngenta, big investment companies, JP Morgan. You put Deutsche Bank here. You put Epstein down here. Okay, he was involved in all this. You also have the Fed, the central banks. All these people party together. When I say party together, I mean literally they party together, guys. Absolute close-knit friends. And in fact, the CEO of a global 2,000 company will easily move to one of the investment companies down here. If you look at Target, big companies like Anheuser-Busch and Exxon, you'll find that at one point they were in one of these investment companies, and these investment companies sit on the board of these companies, and they shuffle back and forth. So this is all about making money, right? These people are about making the dollar. These people are all about power. This is profit. And then fundamentally, you have control. Hollywood over here. This includes celebrities. You have their agents, Hollywood agents, like Ari Emanuel, as I've talked about, who's a guy who controls most of Hollywood. He controls Worldwide Wrestling Federation, the MMA, etc. The media companies. This includes Disney, Viacom. This includes now Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. These are large media companies. Google, you can put in there also. You also have big news stations, CNN, Fox. And combined with this, now we have another group, social media influencers. This is like Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, these characters who have come in, but they do not exist without support from these guys. If you notice, overnight, a bunch of social media influencers have come out of nowhere. And these people are created by these people. So when you look at this, the academics, the NGOs, the government, the think tanks, the investment companies, the Fed, the big pharma, the CEOs, the Hollywood celebrities, media, social media influencers, and the news companies, and you can even take the top 10 of each one of these, they all know each other, everyone. And in order to manipulate these people, they need front men to manipulate these people with policies. Because what comes out are policies. These are the inputs they put into the system, propaganda. They feed these people purposely, people who they tell them are going to save them, like the Elon Musks or Trump or the Kennedys. Now, who are the people part of the swarm that does that? They have the obvious establishment. And these people are like the Clintons or the McConnells or the Obamas or the Bushes or the Queen of England. Typically people say, oh yeah, those guys are part of the establishment. But one of the things we teach at Truth, Freedom, Health, the most insidious people are what I call the not so obvious establishment. These are the people that are created to make sure that the 8 billion people look to the elites to save them. Trump, he's got a golden toilet. Mar-a-Lago, Kennedy's, completely bogus family. You can look at historically people like Gandhi or people like MLK. These people all came and were endorsed by the swarm. These people do not exist. They live in Malibu. They live in the places of the elites. And these people are the ones that are used to send the inputs of this controller. In system science, these are the controllers. These are the people controlling the inputs that go in. And remember, their goal is to make sure people are in the state of division, disconnection, and helplessness, particularly. They're observing all this. They have their sensors. And one of the features that they notice is that as long as people are in dysfunction and diseased mentally, physically, emotionally, they're happy. Well, what are those diseases these days? We see obesity. We see endocrine disruption, men with low testosterone, and people questioning their sexuality. We also see people with cancer. The world's population's life expectancy is going down. The United States is going this way. This is from 1980 to 2020. They like this. This is life expectancy. In fact, when they see dysfunction, you know what they do? They put another input in, which is normalize dysfunction. Eat sugars and high fructose food. Well, over here, people have been literally getting fat. It's led to obesity. Or they've been putting in foods that are affecting people's gut microbiome. This is what I call from policy to biology. People are getting worse and worse. They're actually making more money because the obesity now creates obesity drugs. The endocrine disruptors, let's talk about this. This will really explain what's going on with Bud Light. About 20 years ago, there was research done at the universities that clearly showed the use of restricted use pesticides like atrazine and other chemicals in the atmosphere actually cause endocrine disruption, which could reduce male testosterone, which could also affect mammals where the sex organs can change. And this was done by the work of Tyrone Hayes. So if you're over here at a university and you find out one of your researchers discovered that, and you are playing golf with people over here at Syngenta is the one who produced atrazine, they're going to say, hey man, we don't want this research coming out, because you have to understand something. The investment community here is investing in all of these companies. So if you're one of these large investment companies, you're moving trillions of dollars. $600 trillion, by the way, move through the economy every day. You as one of the elites managers of money, you're moving all this money. You know all of these people. You know the CEO of Target, you know the CEO of Anheuser-Busch, you know the CEO of Pfizer and Syngenta. And imagine that you see, wow, the stuff that we've been creating is causing sexual disruption changes. You're seeing a phenomenon where more and more people are questioning their sexuality. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that the general public doesn't understand this, because if they did, they would awaken to something that's going on from the decisions you made. So you call up your friend, Bud Light, he goes, hey, look, let's run a campaign. Let's normalize trans. Let's exploit a willing person to be exploited like this Dylan Mulvaney. Let's put them on as a poster boy for Bud Light, and let's push them out there, because we want the attention to normalize a dysfunction, because the goal is to make sure they don't lose their trillions over in Syngenta. They're willing to take $1 billion hit over here, but they want to save their trillions in big pharma and big ag, because they're all part of the same family. They all do favors for each other. And then again, you would go do it at Target. You try to normalize it, because you don't want people over here to understand the bigger picture. But you are interconnected. You could strike deals left and right. Let's do a marketing campaign in here. Let's normalize. Same thing if you can look at what's going on in obesity. All these pharma companies are making big money from obesity drugs, but there's movies on Netflix and Amazon promoting fat people as a norm. What's happening over here, you have people who are pro-fat and people who are anti-fat people. You have people who are pro-woke and anti-woke, and they don't care. So you have a bunch of these idiots writing books against woke companies and anti-woke companies. You have people creating apps, only shop at anti-woke companies, don't go to woke companies. But you guys understand that these guys don't give a damn? They're making money anyway. The investment bankers are going to make money from woke companies and anti-woke companies. But what's occurring here is people are being divided. These guys are happy because they're here inputting policies and propaganda. People here are being divided, and that is the goal, to achieve power, profit, control. So as long as these people work together as a swarm to control the policies and the propaganda, and they provide false heroes, and they're using the Trumps, the Kennedys, and Gaudis, all of them who talk a big game, their goal is to make sure that you never understand this, that you keep thinking, oh, Kennedy's going to solve the problem. Trump is going to solve the problem. They don't want you to be leaders in your own communities. They want you to outsource your future to people like Trump or Kennedy because they're part of the swarm. And you keep getting more unhealthy, more ignorant, more entertained. But most importantly, you are divided. People here don't organize themselves to smash these people up. And this is the history of human oppression. They have it down to a system, a goal. They have a controller. They have specific inputs. And they manipulate billions of people to achieve this state. They produce dysfunction. They don't give a damn if you die. The life expectancy in the United States, your children are going to die sooner than you. And they've achieved their goal. They don't give a damn. Do you understand? These people are eating organic foods. They get the best restaurants. They get the best insurance. They get the best health care. And this is what they want to achieve. And that's how they're controlling people. The other way they're controlling you is they want you to keep looking to the elites like Trump and Kennedy and all these people to save you. They want you to look to the swarm. They do not want you to ever support a Malcolm X or a Dr. Shiva or you. They don't want you to become leaders. And this is a goal. As long as you're divided, as long as you're looking over here, you're going to achieve their goal of power, profit, and control. So what's the way out? How do we win? The first way we win, everyone's got to be aware of the science of systems. Without this understanding, there are goals, there are controllers, there are systems, there are intelligence, and there are dumb systems. You are never going to break out of this because you will think everything is, oh my God, we got to talk about aliens and UFOs and flat earth or this. All those may be interesting topics, but they don't come down to the fundamentals of understanding this. And the only way out of this is people here have got to understand the principles of system science. And the good news is you can learn this at Truth Freedom Health. So first of all, learn these principles at Truth Freedom Health. That's the only place. This is my gift to people. We've made it accessible to all your children. Any person who goes through the course, you can give it to your children. Anyone can learn this. But the goal is go to Truth Freedom Health and you will understand the science of systems. So we've created that weapon. And with this weapon, this is a hammer here, we have a way to smash this swarm. But without the understanding of this, without you understanding this system science, without you understanding the knowledge of systems, you will never break out of this. Please volunteer. Go to shivaforpresident.com, volunteer. And by the way, when you donate, I don't like to take people's money for nothing. I give you books and courses and access to the entire community at truthfreedomhealth.com. So please take advantage of that if you want to donate. But if you don't want to donate, volunteer. We're going to be getting on the ballot in all the states. So we need people on the ground. So go to Shiva for President, numeral4president.com, and volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. Our campaign is about mobilizing you. We have a whole program that we want to train you to be a leader. So we get connected. We're no longer helpless. We stop looking to these fools like Kennedy and Trump and all these other people, because where have they gotten us? They're part of the system to increase power, profit, and control. This is why a small set of people, the elites, to keep getting richer and richer off the backs of people. This is why these people are able to control you, because they make you disconnected and divided in a very, very systems way. This is the science of systems that they're using. There's about 10,000 people that learn the science. This is not accidental, everyone. What I'm here to tell you is once you understand the engineering physics here, we can smash these people and make a society where people are decentralized but connected. We're no longer divided, but we're united with the interests that we have to face their propaganda and destroy them and to no longer follow false heroes. And that's what this is about. Because the way we're going now, as I've talked about, those in power want to kill you. It's not a hyperbole. They want to kill you. The movement for Truth, Freedom, Health and our campaign for Shiva for President is about making sure you live long and prosper. And the only way to do it is you have to become aware of this, recognizing that there's a systems process. Fortunately, truthfreedomhealth.com exists. I wish I didn't have to go do this. In fact, our parents should have done this first. But anyway, Truth Freedom Health exists. Our campaign exists. So go to shivaforpresident.com, become a volunteer, become a warrior scholar, truthfreedomhealth.com. Every Thursdays at 11 a.m. and at 8 p.m. I do a open house, and we have our 8 p.m. town halls for our campaign. Please join them. You can RSVP at vashiva.com/orientation. The other important you can do where we start taking control of our lives, that you start supporting one of us. I'm one of you, leaders bottoms up. I didn't grow up in a Kennedy compound. I didn't grow up with golden plated toilet seats. I grew up like you guys. And as a part of that, make sure that you share this video. Hit the share button. Make sure you retweet it. Make sure you click the notify. Make sure you put comments on, because you know that I've been exposing their false heroes, Elon Musk and the Kennedys and all their not so obvious establishment people. So their retribution is to shadow ban me. My tweets used to get 500,000 views per day. Today, I'm lucky if I get 5,000 views per day. And then they put keywords if something starts going viral to stop that. So the way you can help is sign up as a volunteer so we get on the ground. The future is offline. I need you to go share these videos, get it out there, and become a Truth Freedom Health warrior. That's the ways you guys can help, contribute. Anyway, there you go. So anyway, I hope this is valuable. Be the light, ShivaForPresident.com, TruthFreedomHealth.com. Thank you, everyone. Be well. Be the light. Have a good night. Have a good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are.
I shared that specifically for his information that he has. I made the decision to, because I just came across this. I did come across this video some time back, and then I found it again and decided to share it specifically for the information. I will go check it out, because I'm sure because for me, I have my own independent, conscious sovereignty perspective and opinions and whatnot. And hopefully I'll get to talk to him to exchange ideas, right? Because there's only so much we can do, and everybody's done research, and he's literally thoroughly done his research. And so, yeah, it's better to come together somehow. And for me, this is how I'm going about it, and I get it. Even with looking around to rearrange even my own social media platform and this and that, because Facebook is still erasing a lot of my content and not saying why. We can't show you what we're erasing. All of this and that they're doing, and then they just erase it. So yeah, it is what it is. So coming back to Hawaii Kingdom, I wanted to share a video that Napua put together, and it's Hollywood Hawaiians versus OG Hawaiians, and OG Hawaiians need access to resources to live their culture to provide for their families. So she did a very amazing job in explaining the difference, and this can be translated cross cultures for those who are earth peoples that have been colonized, right? Hollywood Hawaiians are colonized mental setups. They have their subjective truth and have the right to their truths. But how do we come together? And she does an amazing job verbalizing this.
Aloha kako, Napua Hu'el, here to elaborate on the subject matter that I've been carrying on my story series over the last few weeks, in particular the issue of compromised Native Hawaiian leadership and the mana wahine. It's important for me to note that not all Native Hawaiian leaders are compromised in the same way. Some of our Native Hawaiian leaders are dealing with systems that have been infrastructurally compromised. Mason would be a good example of this, where he's coming into power over the county of Mai, which was mismanaged for many of the administrations prior. Now, this is not a conspiracy. There is evidence that executives from prior administrations were taking bribes and giving certain contractors all of the county contracts, right? Favoritizing contractors. And then just all of the annual budget spending on things that have led us to the conditions of desertification here on the island of Maui. So spending money on eradicating hoofed animals in mass. and allowing for and permitting the continued trend of dewatering East Maui, disrupting the flow of Vai from Mauka to Makai, diverting water from the watershed and taking it into the Central Maui Plain to grow limes and coffee. And so this has all led us to the predicament we're in, where we're all sitting in a firebox, not just Lahaina. So again, a system that is infrastructurally compromised. So now Mayor Biss is trying to get a handle on it. But even in his capacity as a state of Hawaii judge, also dealing with a system that has been infrastructurally compromised. Everybody knows that there's major discrepancies about the state of Hawaii's rightful jurisdiction over the metes and bounds of Hawaiian territory. But we have Native Hawaiian leaders who are morally compromised, not just dealing with systems that have been infrastructurally compromised, but we have Native Hawaiian leaders that are morally compromised. And I say this because there is evidence that many of our mainstream Lahui leaders are avid drinkers, getting intoxicated on the weekends. Now, what leads us to believe and reassures us that your state of intoxication on the weekends or some weeknights doesn't carry over into your discretion during the work week, where you are charged with making key decisions to ensure for Lahui betterment and Lahui safety? That is a concern for me, that our leaders are not sober. And in my opinion, this lack of sobriety leads some of our Lahui leaders to make bad decisions, like the decision to collaborate with Hollywood, which we all know is dark and demonic. Okay, we've already experienced this, witnessed it, lived it to know that it is not pono. Okay, when all the Hollywood came to the Mauna, right, came to Mauna Kea, gave us ho'okupu, wanted to be our friends, wanted to be our allies, right? And then what did they go do after that? They went and they bottled water and put the word mana on it. Mana Nalu Water by Jason Momoa. What did they do after that? They went and bottled tequila and put the word mana on it. Again, Terra Mana Tequila by The Rock. Now, bottled water and bottled tequila itself, are not Hawaiian. And so who took the ho'okupu from those guys and vested them into the Lahui and told them, oh yeah, you guys can be a part of our Lahui, right? And then never consult them correctly or correct them that they should not be labeling their products that are not Hawaiian with a Hawaiian word on it. Okay, that is concerning to me. And then we have some of these same Lahui leaders encouraging us to collaborate with Hollywood when it comes to disaster aid. And I don't think that that is good for us to continue to go in this direction of befriending Hollywood and influencing the Lahui to desire or aspire to be Hollywood Hawaiians. In my opinion, this is contributing to the grooming of more Hollywood Hawaiians, and we don't need any more Hollywood Hawaiians. Let me elaborate on the Hollywood Hawaiian notion. There are two types of Hawaiians. We have the Hollywood Hawaiians, which are the ones who are wheeling and dealing and signing the contracts and making the agreements to go forward with projects, proposals, developments that end up harming the real OG Hawaiians. Now, who are the real OG Hawaiians? Those are the Hawaiians who are continuing to rely on their culture and live their culture as a means to survive from day to day here in Hawaii. And then the Hollywood Hawaiians are talking about their culture, singing about their culture, dancing about their culture, and claiming all these things about their culture as a means to sign off on and sell out certain Hawaiian lands and resources that end up harming the real OG Hawaiians, because the real OG Hawaiians rely on access and they rely on resources. And so when a certain project or proposal or development goes up, then now the real OG Hawaiians can't go to that spot or make it past that spot to get to the spot where they need to harvest resources from in order to feed their family. And then the resources end up becoming compromised in the sense of depletion of vitality, right? The resources become contaminated or they become less of. And then the problem is that the Hollywood Hawaiians say, oh, I'm a part of this project proposal or development. And then so that insinuates to the entire Lahui, both Hollywood Hawaiians, real OG Hawaiians, and undecided Hawaiians, that insinuates to them that everybody, all Hawaiians, need to stand down. Nobody is allowed to protest this project proposal or development because there's a Hawaiian involved. One Hawaiian getting paid. This is progressive for the Hawaiians because one Hawaiian is getting benefits from this project for proposal or development. But it will always be that the greater good for all or majority is the determiner of right or wrong. Not, oh, one Hawaiian making out, so the other 100,000 Hawaiians, we don't care about them because at least one making out. That is not how it goes. That is not the formula for deciding what is pono and what is not pono. And so I have major concerns with grooming more Hollywood Hawaiians. Somebody had made a comment that Hawaii will become a Disney World where there are only Hawaiian actors and there are no longer any real OG Hawaiians. And that is saddening for me. We have to continue to live our culture, embody our culture, and not just use our culture as a costume and put it on whenever we gotta act Hawaiian or feel Hawaiian or look Hawaiian, for some event. We should be being Hawaiians every day in every sense of the word. And so this leads me to the mana wahine issue that I've been elaborating on. I am not a drama girl. I'm not about making unnecessary drama. But when I see mana wahine influencing the next generation to desire or aspire to be like Hollywood or to yearn for Hollywood or to think that Hollywood is a positive for our people, I am very concerned. And I can say this because I used to be a Hollywood Hawaiian and I used to be obsessed with the same things that these mana wahine are obsessed with, and it is not good. In the end, it does not turn out to be good, okay? We live, we learn. When we know better, we can do better. And so all of the Lahui leadership should know this by now, that Hollywood is a dark and demonic thing and that we should not be encouraging the Hawaiians to seek fame and fortune. We should be aspiring to be on our land and to have our water so that we can grow our food, so that we can stay home with our families, because that is true Hawaiian happiness, okay? And again, I should know this because I used to facilitate for the millionaire and billionaires that would come and visit Maui activities here on the island of Maui, right? Experiences, tours. And all of these millionaires and billionaires are miserable people. They are sad, okay? And so they come here to Hawaii to decompress and try to live as authentic Hawaiians do, because they know that that's the highest form of bliss available on planet Earth. And so we need to recognize that once you get into the motions of chasing fame and fortune and attain it, you actually aren't happy in the end. And you actually just want to go back to being an authentic Hawaiian. And so might as well skip past all of that, right? And learn from the lessons, right? And just expedite us to the happier reality and just go straight back to being authentic Hawaiians versus trying to, chase fame and fortune. And I see a lot of the mana wahine encouraging and influencing that, right? And idolizing these celebrity figures that are not pono. There needs to be more influencers that encourage the Lahui to desire and demand to live their culture. Okay, that is what needs to be happening. And on the drama girl note, I've come across all of these super generic defenses from the Lahui, both young and old, about me questioning, the mana wahine and the people in which they idolize. Jason Momoa, Beyonce, yada, yada. And then, so they make all these deflections, right? I'm just asking questions. Do you think it's pono when corporate diverts water, right? Do you think it's Pono stealing water from Ismawi? Why is it that our Lahui leadership is condoning the collaboration with Hollywood? I'm just asking these questions, and then they all get super defensive. And then here are some of the generic statements that come about because I posed these very critical questions. And what some of those critical questions were submitted by the Lahui. Some of them asking, how was all of the Mauna Kea donation money spent? Or how much of the Hokulea voyages are done under tow? Just simple questions. And then everybody gets all defensive, right? And then they state these certain things as a means for deflection. My favorite one is, oh, we all got to be in the same va'a in order to, get us out of this rut. I'm sorry, but if your va'a is going to the Beyonce concert, I am not about being in that va'a. Because my va'a is trying to go back to the Hawaiian kingdom where, again, we can all live on our land with our water, grow our kalo, and be at home in our ahupua'a with our families. Okay, that is where my va'a is going. So if your va'a going to the Beyonce concert, I am bailing your va'a for sure. We don't need to be in the same va'a. And then the other one is, oh, you hana ino them. I'm not hana inoing anybody. We're asking questions, okay? Stop trying to twist the storyline. And then the other one about, oh, you're tearing down other women. You're jealous. I just want to state for the record right now, my intention is not to tear down anybody. It just so happens that these figures are the ones that are carrying the narratives about how Mahipono is a sustainable food venture where they are not. Like, be real. So I'm not tearing down anybody. I'm simply providing facts and evidence to counter the allegations that are being made that Mahipono is here to provide food security for us. That's false. So, sorry that my facts and evidence are interpreted as hana ino to you. And then other things like that I'm saying hateful things or that I'm exposing your children to hate. And it's like, you took your kids to the Beyonce concert, not me. You're the one who took them to a concert where the dancers are all half naked and twerking on each other. Okay, you exposed them to the heva, not me. Again, twisting the storyline. So anyways, this is the reasons why I have to talk about all of this, because I'm very concerned about the trajectory that, they have put us on, and I am not down with the place and the destination in which they are navigating their va'as towards. I believe we need to go back to Hawaii Oia'io, and I will be relentlessly advocating for that moving forward. Aloha.
I really appreciate Napua doing that video. It was very clear and concise. That is relevant for all indigenous Aboriginal peoples because it's all about taking care of the land, Malama Aina, and the water, right? Which the corporate side doesn't do. So getting back to families, that's why I'm advocating families govern themselves again with full recognition. And so for me, I'm on that prayer seeking to even be having those positions recognized even by the UN, not just groups or large groups of people being recognized, especially mothers. Mothers, all women in a female body, have the capacity to perpetuate life, and really the only ones that perpetuate life en masse. And so yeah, that's why I'm saying the things I'm saying. But I shared her video, which is very perfect because it was Josh Green who put a post up saying mahalo to Jason Momoa and the International Culture and Arts Network and our film industry partners for meeting today to discuss a shared vision for growing Hawaii's film industry. By investing locally, we can have our people at the heart of film seen all over the world and to showcase the true magic of our islands. And so, well, what is that? It's because Josh Green was at the UN for smart cities and doing a my apologies, I was supposed to put in those slides too, but Yeah, and then Lahaina, and then now you don't hear too much about what's going on in Lahaina. So, right, all of these next things that is questionable. These are very serious questions, and why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up also, shedding the light on that, but also with Keanu Sai and his proposal. He proposes that the state of Hawaii be the military government to help transition this occupation to a peace treaty, right? In all honesty, the U.S. is very conscious of what they're doing, especially since they did do the apology bill in 1993. And if they were sincere about it, right, they would bring in martial law already from them, but that is not happening. That is not happening. And then you've got this going on today. This was posted today with Josh Green, furthering other agendas or whatnot. So the agendas that are going on, I get it, it's all subjective truths, and different circles are operating on their autonomy. But on what? That's why I ask the questions that I ask. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just asking questions, right? And there's no coming together. So and this is where for me I'm taking this position. Shoots, where did it go? No, it is this one, right? So having the military, oh no, it was above. Sorry. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Me finding it odd, why is it that the attacker or the occupier, the abuser, is the one who is to administrate the military government? It's a legit question. And based off of all of my research, it's the same mental setup and proposals of the colonizers. The colonizers' mental setup is a toxic mental setup of narcissism. And so they use treaties, which are contracts, as a form of bait and switch, like a foot in the door, and they've just been using genocide, massacres and genocide of the earth peoples. That's what they're doing. And so that's why I find it very odd, because when you're looking at all of these policies and when you're looking at all of the history, like even the other night when I shared about the first Californian governor, Mr. Brunette, and they all go back to way back when, and their constructs, right? The constructs, it's a mental setup of bait and switch, as well as it's not clean, it's not pono, and it's not clean. And so why is it the laws of war, which the UN provides, and they didn't tell, right, in that official letter here, they didn't say they weren't clean here as well. It's just all dirty, 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 dirty. Same throughout history, right? Strange form of occupation. It wasn't saying occupation is war, thus the laws of war apply, here's the laws of war. That did not happen. And so I'm asking real legit questions. I'm not pointing fingers. Bless Mr. Desires, Dr. Alfred Desires, I know he's trying his best for whatever situationship he's born into or whatever. And just like how the Dr. Shiva was sharing, it's all families. I've been saying it's all families, and it is all families, right? Perpetuating this, enslavement, using hypocrisies. So saying that the state of Hawaii should be the military government, they would, if that was what they wanted to do, they would have already done it since 1993 in the apology letter. But it's just like saying Russia will negotiate the peace treaty on the Ukraine line and give the land back to the Ukraine and remove themselves like wolves in the hen house. If that were the case, it would have already happened with the apology bill in 1993, with follow-up of an immigration bill, and Hawaii Kingdom would have their immigration, imports, voting, banking, Bureau of Convenience, post office, etc. its own infrastructure by now, right? That's like 93, 03, 13, 23. That's like 30 years. 30 years. So for me, I sit and listen to all of these opinions as a third party, and I don't take sides. I'm just asking questions. I'm trying to line things up side by side for that logic, which I should have put that in here. And the huge jackpot of I'm still in the process of finding someone willing to bless me, because I am walking the extreme Pono line where my feet actually are. I don't participate in banking, social infrastructures, 501c3s, because of that, to do what I'm being tasked to do and shown by Paramashiva that I need to do. I'm doing it. This is how I'm doing it. And it gets very challenging to be able to move forward. But this website, llmc.com, I believe, it's pay by play, but they pulled all of the treaties historically and lined them up pretty much play by play on a timeline. And that is like huge, especially when you look at things and from that force majeure light. All contracts are null and void, right? So, and because I sit and listen and I don't take sides in Hawaii Kingdom, and everybody, right? Because this has been since 1893, January 17, 1893, and everyone and their families, their ancestors have been struggling through this. And to me, from that perspective of inclusivity and honor their efforts, no matter how big or small, nobody has the piece, they have their piece. It's a one piece. So for me, it's just a suggestion as a third-party witness to this situationship I'm born into, fourth generation Gila girl, and trying to inspire teamwork. I'm suggesting like the signing of the U.S. Constitution. I think every living Kanaka Maoli should sign the Hawaiian American Peace Treaty, because every family did and do the best they can with what they have on all levels and dimensions. And no one is left out and no one's left behind. And that's just a suggestion for what I'm finding and the subjective truths. Everybody has their subjective truths of their context and intentions, as well as the efforts that they make towards, or perspective that they're shown to whatever this is, right? What is this? I don't even know. Whatever it is, something's going on, right? How can we have in dialogue and be able to move forward, right? Globally, being the favorite inheritors of the cosmos. So just like Napua was sharing, it's the same globally, and for all the earth peoples. That applies to Native Americans as well, because the earth peoples lived a lifestyle in tune with Mother Earth, Mother Nature, where they lived. So with that, I'm going to share about today in Paramashivoham, level 1, 2, and 3. Today was the Bhagavan Simhagana Murti, Darshan and initiations. So those in Paramashivoham level 1 were initiated in Advaita, oneness and communion. Level 2, liberation from Chit Jata Grandi, which are the knots in the consciousness and matter. And then level 3 was initiated into Paramashanti, Paramashakti, Paramabhakti, and Paramamukti. So what is Paramashivoham? Paramashivoham is the spiritual retreat that initiates and trains for one's highest potential, and daily programs that are 21 days per retreat, and I highly recommend it. The amount of upgrading of your decision-making matrix is very much very powerful and immediately applicable in your life. So I wanted to share some things. These are more or less for Hindus. Some videos that came out from Kailasa. So for me, even with Kailasa, there's a lot of Hindus, and I'm just one of the Hindus. And Kailasa is the Hindu nation that they're spearheading for Hindus. I have yet to see a mirroring of my truth, which I feel all mothers should have the right to be able to have their own country and families govern themselves. But in that oneness, inclusivity, as I make that spectrum of choice and fully exercising my right to start my own sampradaya or lineage, and as a secular Hindu quantum catalyst fusionist. Why so much words? I would rather stay in the no word zone. Seriously. And it's all because of words too much. But for those, I did not grow up knowing, reading, learning about Krishna. I grew up Buddhist in SGI, Soka Gakkai International, and Nichiren Daishonin is my Kula Guru. So a very different perspective, but I do honor and respect everyone's subjective truths. And so
Beti, it's time to get married and have kids.
Once again, I'm faced with the prospect of a conventional life. But Dad, that is not the path aligned with my life aspirations. I'm drawn to preserving and perpetuating the rich and time-honored culture of our ancestors, the Bhojpuri Brahmins from Kashi, those belonging to the Rudrakanya families. It pains me to witness the erasure of our enlightened and advanced culture through generational Hindu ethnocide and genocide, which has dealt a devastating blow to the Rudrakanya tradition. and I refuse to succumb to the mediocrity of an unfulfilled existence centered around a job, a spouse, and children. Instead, my heart longs to living like the powerful Rudrakanya women in our family lineage. These remarkable women dedicated their entire lives to serving the divine, emerging as influential leaders and steadfast pillars of society, mastering all 64 arts along the way. Which is better, settling for a mundane life revolving around a spouse and 2 kids, or aspiring for a life devoted to the divine as his Rudrakanya, who epitomizes excellence in her spiritual pursuits and societal contributions? Oh, how I yearn for the bygone era of Krishna to exist as his Rudrakanya, immersed in the divine aura of Krishna, the very epitome of allure, romance, love, and boundless compassion. A life intertwined not with mere mortals, but with the presence of the divine himself. My heart aches at the thought of having missed the opportunity to live with Krishna during his sojourn on earthly plane. Hey, you don't know? Paramashiva has returned to planet Earth after more than 5,000 years. He's back. Who are you? You look just like me, but more beautiful. Yes, I'm you from the future. Oh. So you were saying Krishna is back? यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभिधानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्. Whenever positive consciousness declines, when collective negativity rises, O Bharata, again and again at these times I happen myself. Paramashiva once again has happened on planet Earth in the form of Nityananda Paramashiva. So don't worry, you don't need to lead a mundane life. You can now fulfill your heart's yearning and live intimately with Nityananda Paramashiva as his Rudrakanya, reveling in Parabhakti and profound oneness with the divine. Really? My life is saved. I was disheartened, mourning the missed opportunity to live alongside Paramashiva in the form of Krishna. So, where do I find Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam? Start with Paramashivoham. From here, your journey towards him begins.
So that was a very cool video. I'm going to share another video done by the Rudras. That's the Rudra Kanyas, but this is the Rudras. So Swamiji is reviving the 10,000 different traditions that were decimated through colonization. And that's what his mission is, and Rudra Kanyas is one of those traditions. For me, I'm still yet to figure out where do I fall, because I'm just like, all of that doesn't resonate with me, those certain whatnots or whatever. And so in Paramashivoham we get very clear, one layer at a time, whatever. And so for me, I am very supportive of everybody attending. Plus, they do a lot of initiation, power manifestations. 460 powers of Mahadeva is real. And here is, this is the Rudras.
I was expecting someone else. Careful. This is your 9th phone this year. Yeah, this year has been really hard. I was fired from my job 3 times. I lost my passport. People stole money from me this year, and I can't seem to get anything right this year. And don't forget, you had 2 car accidents this year. Oh yeah. But how do you know? I am your future self. I came here to give you this. I need to take this call. Wow, what is this?
One eternity later.
I don't think he's coming back. Let me give it to him next time.
1 week later.
Bro, I was waiting to meet you. This week has been amazing. I got 3 job opportunities, especially from SpaceX. I got all my money back, and this week has just been a breakthrough in my life. What is this? This is my lucky charm. What is this? Who are you? This is not just a lucky charm. This is a manifestation of our higher reality, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashiva. This 1 week can be your whole life. Come with me to experience your higher self in Paramashiva. You too.
One, go.
Not this. I forgot too much. I was fired from my job 3 times, and
Where is my Linda?
I forgot my line run.
I'm your future self.
Oh, we're still recording?
Yeah. Wait, what happened? Just finally.
The reality of our higher reality. This is been fun to hear. Why are you sure laughing now?
Come out with various different videos for Paramashivoham. One of the things that is coming up is Ekadashi, or Vaikunta Ekadashi. It's to be able to connect with Venkateshwara, and for Hindus we live according to astrology or the planetary movements, and so this is when the highest portal, if you will, is the best way I can explain it, for those auspicious blessings to come through in that vibration, to experience a profound connection with Sri Ananda Venkateshwara by offering Tomala, mala meaning the garland, and Tosi Mala Seva on this auspicious Vaikunta Ekadashi. So if you would like to participate in that, the link is there. I did put the link in the description, but that's going to be on the this weekend, or on Saturday, 9 p.m., which is, that's right, it's the IST and the Eastern, because of the horizontal time dimensions. Yeah, that's why it's on the 23rd and the 24th. Sometimes it gets very confusing when living in the multi-dimensional, even just on the horizontal side. Well, thank you so much for watching. I will be doing power manifestation after unclutching, so we're going to go into unclutching meditation. This is the highest meditation that will only be useful on
This technique is
your deathbed. It not only is a stress buster, but also brings down the TPS, or thoughts per second, but also it is worth doing, and as you keep doing it, your mind will simply just drop into the unclutched state. So for me, I recommend this as the ultimate meditation, is the unclutching. It's the only one useful on your deathbed, seriously. So here we go.
It's not even to be practiced every day. No. This is supposed to be practiced effortlessly, internalized effortlessly. Suddenly at one day, you will unclutch. From the very desire of holding on to this body, you will just unclutch. Now, close your eyes. For a few minutes, I'll guide you how to consider the desires and how to suddenly unclutch from it before your mind brings any argument. Please close your eyes. Sit in a relaxed way. If some desires are arising in you, maybe desire to open your eyes or desire to move your body, any desire, just see that desire. Don't judge. There may be so many desires. Do not witness. Do not judge. Do not say right or wrong. Do not suppress. Just see. Don't say, don't think your desire is right or wrong. Just see it. Let your eyes be closed. Let them come. When desires arise, let them happen. Let all the desires arise in you. Don't suppress them. Don't judge them. Don't say they are right or wrong. Just let them happen. Consider. Let them happen. Suddenly, before even your mind recognizes, unclutch from all the desire and relax. Do not argue. Do not logically decide. Do not decide based on right or wrong. Just unclutch from all the thoughts. Let your eyes be closed. Just unclutch from all the thoughts. anything comes up, just unclutch. Just disconnect. Don't judge. Don't say it is right. Don't say it is wrong. Just disconnect. Unclutch.
will be going into power manifestation from here, but what I want to share is the huge power manifestation that Kailasa has done, and this is where I'm putting a kahea out and calling all the Aboriginal indigenous people and tribes to really look at Kailasa and how they go about handling the media giants and a huge success in their strategies for having atrocity material removed by the Washington Post, all of the main media houses, they were removed. But Kailasa is also seeking formal apologies as well because of the continuous atrocity material for decades that I'm sure led to the attack, people being inspired to harass and attack the banyan tree this past weekend because of these false stories fabricated through international media outlets, like all over the place. And that's nothing new for Kailasa, because we are empowering people with third eye and kundalini and the 460 powers of Mahadeva. Yeah, I do initiate and I do help share the basics, but for those who are serious about power manifestation, I do point to Swamiji and Paramashivoham, because for me, he's Paramashiva, and he's here and choosing to do that. I wanted to share this video.
Are you saying that we must go above an animal existence to try the true meaning of our existence as human beings? Because we have a mind. So are you saying that we must go above an animal existence to try the true meaning of our existence as human beings? Because we have a mind.
Yes. We should evolve higher than the mind.
Higher than the mind.
Higher than the mind. I call it completion. Completion. Where our depth radiates what we are, independent and irrelevant to the mood swings we go through. Our core stands by what we are, independent of the mood swings we go through. Whether up or down, mood swings come or go, good or bad, the core depth standing to its integrity and constantly ready to evolve only in the line of integrity. Not by these ups and downs. If these ups and downs starts guiding, the person is called powerless. If his integrity is only his guiding force, he is called powerful.
That was a very huge clarity in what is a powerless and what is a powerful being. I'm going to play it again. It's worth chewing on, because after this we're going to go into power manifestation.
So are you saying that we must go above an animal existence to try the true meaning of our existence as human beings? Because we have a mind.
Yes. We should evolve higher than the mind.
Higher than the mind.
Higher than the mind. I call it completion. Completion. Where our depth radiates what we are, independent and irrelevant to the mood swings we go through. Our core stands by what we are, independent of the mood swings we go through. Whether up or down, mood swings come or go, good or bad, the core depth standing to its integrity and constantly ready to evolve only in the line of integrity, not by these ups and downs. If these ups and downs starts guiding, the person is called powerless. If his integrity is only his guiding force, he is called powerful.
So we're going to be doing power manifestation. If you have fruit, please get your fruit and place it on your flat palm, like I have pictured here. And put your Ishtadevata Amakula, Creator God, in your third eye or visualization. And have a prayer or wish in your heart. And you just sit in the restful awareness as we do this power manifestation. Now what happens is the fruit will start dancing and roll off, and that's the blessing. It's a consciousness over matter, or telekinesis. It works live or alive meaning pre-recorded. Doesn't matter, because this is a happening. This is an eternal happening beyond past, present, and future. And these power manifestations, for whatever prayer or wish that you have, is from that space of eternity of win, win, win. And the miracles that unfold very blissfully that goes through. So here we go.
As Paramashiva, inhale and exhale deeply with 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands. Visualize, meditate, connect with him. He is a living, alive being. Drop your form into his form and dissolve. Remember, you are a Sarupya Mukta, means your form is dissolved into his form. All my disciples, now I am initiating Salopya Mukti, Samipya Mukti, Sarupya Mukti, Sayujya Mukti. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda. Your fears, incompletions, insecurities, nothing is needed for you to exist. Paramashiva alone is enough for you to live absolutely, blissfully, celebrating, fulfilled, complete, intensely. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Shiva's biology. Let macrocosm we carry become one with microcosm. Let the microcosm we carry become one with macrocosm of Paramashiva. Let our organism become one with Paramashiva's organism. Let Paramashiva's organism become one with our organism. Let oneness become living strategy, living experience of all of us. Anda Mahavadya with intensely. Nityananda Paramashiva. Nityananda
Thank you very much for joining me tonight in the sharings that I do. Still in the process of figuring out the social media and this and that I've got to structure on top of everything else, right? All of this other researching and whatever, and trying to connect with those of the vibrational frequency that I'm on. And that's why I do these every night, because I'm putting it out there and the cosmos has to respond. And that's what I'm doing. Right? Families governing themselves. Enough of this. I've had enough. That's what it is. So, close in the communion. You're welcome to say the prayer of your tradition. For me, again, I prefer just silence. So, peace for you, peace for me, global peace. And Tatastu, to your wish or prayer that you were holding that space for and power manifesting for. Thank you so much for watching. Aloha. Nityanandam. Have a good evening.